I'm back, bitches. Welcome back to another episode of the Bright Lights Podcast, episode 7, 8. I don't even know. It's your
Fuck it.
host, Deegs, back from my wonderful mouth surgery, joined by Mahoney.
What's up, guys? How you guys
Ma-
doing this fine evening?
Mahoney, how was your Christmas, man? How was your Christmas?
It went pretty good. Went to the grandma's house. Fun time. Got some good food, good cooking. Us
Oh,
Mahonies know how to cook.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you
How about
haven't
you?
noticed, oh, my Christmas was wonderful, dude. I got these super dope San Diego Padres socks, despite the fact that they're the worst team in all of Major League Baseball.
We'll get to that.
Uh,
We'll get to that.
got some Steelers pants, even though I hate them. And yeah, dude, it was a good Christmas for me. If you guys haven't noticed yet, our wonderful third person of the Bright Lights podcast, PT, is
We're
not
missing
here.
another.
We just can't all get on the same page apparently. He is in Florida doing some. He's either like hitting 500-foot home runs or coaching kids. I don't know what he's doing, but we miss him dearly. PT's a dog, so not having him on the show today is gonna it's gonna be a little weird, but hopefully me and Mahoney can scrap on by.
We'll be fine. We'll be
Yeah.
fine.
So like I don't want to waste your time or waste any of our time. We're gonna jump right into this stuff right here. We got our famous call out section. We got our picks, and then you're gonna listen to me and Mahoney go on a few baseball tangents. So without further ado, go ahead and get started, big fella.
All right, I just want to let you guys know. Remember, live recording. There's no edits, so whatever happens, it's happening. All right. So weeks. Oh no, we're doing call outs. Oh, I'm going to shock a lot of people with this, but I'm calling out Theo Epstein.
I love it, dude.
All right.
Love it.
So a lot of my Cubs fans are really in on getting Harper. Fuck Harper. Just don't, why even worry about him? Go get pitching. You guys need pitching. You guys already have a good offense. Theo should be spending his money in pitching. Get Kimbrel. Get Ottavino. Get some starters. Get Keuchel. Now, this is what I'm really calling him out about. Kyle Schwarber. He announced that Schwarber is the only untouchable on the whole team.
That's so bad, dude.
He's the only person that you're going to get a haul for.
Dude, that's
Because
so
Hayward has an awful contract.
Hayward's
Chatwood's
a
got
shit. He's so
Hayward's
bad.
ass. But you know what? Me being the Sox fan, the Cubs are going to find out a way to get Hayward out of there. They're going to sign Harper. But Theo Epstein, I feel like the Cubs are too all over the place right now, and they need to settle on one thing because they're going to go, and Harper's going to sign with the Dodgers, the Yankees. I don't see him signing with my White Sox anymore, but that's a debate for another time. But I think that they're focusing on too much. They need to settle on one thing, which I think should be pitching. Because last year, their offense was fine, but if they had the pitching, they definitely could have beat the Rockies in the wild card game. And I think they would have won the division instead of the Brewers.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the fact that they're pretty much standing pat right now. I don't know how the hell they're gonna sign Bryce Harper when they have that literal trash can, Jason Hayward, making like $25 million a year on the worst. That contract is almost as bad as Chris Davis, and Chris Davis is fucking terrible. So
He had
like,
statistically the worst season of all time last year.
so like I mean, if I was the Cubs, I would have been like all in on Patrick Corbin. I would be
Yeah.
I would currently be all in on this Kikuchi guy from Japan
Yeah,
because
dude.
the
They
fact that
lost out on Miller.
I mean, yeah, John Lester's a great pitcher, but the fact that after him you have a 50-year-old Cole Hamels, whatever the fuck's left of Jose Quintana, and like Mike Montgomery and Tyler Chatwood,
All right. Wait. All right.
on top of the terrible Yu Darvish contract, like what
All
the
right,
hell
this
are they
is
doing,
what-
dude?
Okay. I love my Cubs fans. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them are really smart that I talk to every day. There's one thing that all these Cubs fans say consistently that drives me nuts. They have a top of the league rotation.
No, they don't. They have
Okay.
a terrible rotation.
Okay. I could see where they're thinking this. Okay. Lester. He cannot do what he did last year with carrying that rotation.
No, of course not. I
He
mean, he's a
cannot.
great pitcher, but he's too old. He's seasoned.
Quintana,
Terrible.
He's going to be nothing
He's
more than a
terrible.
number 4 and number 5.
He's terrible.
And Darvish, I honestly think Darvish is going to get on that mound, get booed out of the stadium, and never come back.
He's the dude. Literally, he has the elbow of like a 13-year-old.
I know. And then did you hear? He's got this thing called pussyitis, where he gets scared to throw. Did you hear what he said last year in his minor leagues rehab start?
What did he say?
He said, "Oh, I don't feel ready to go back."
Dude, that was such a bad contract. I was actually kind of happy when they signed him because like everybody was like getting a boner on Twitter, like we got Hugh Darvish, baby, and like he pitched like 3 games. It was awful.
I think he went 1-4.
He's gonna continue to get hurt because he's soft as hell, and all like not like it's just a proven fact that most Japanese pitchers come over and they get fucked. Like look at Ohtani. The guy Daisuke Matsuzaka, when he came over, the dude was like the second coming of Max Scherzer or Cy Young.
Didn't happen.
Gone. The Kikuchi already has shoulder problems, but the Cubs it's so disappointing, dude, because like I think Cubs fans are like right up there with Dodgers fans and Yankees fans when it comes to like how stupid they are sometimes about how good their team is. But like 2 years ago, I thought they were gonna have a dynasty. Like I thought
they were gonna roll off like 4 or 5 World Series.
I'm like these dudes waited 107 years to win a World Series, and they're gonna win like 108. And they're gonna win like 6 of them in like the next 10 years. But it's so disappointing, dude. I love it.
It's this year or that's it. They either win this year or they don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Does that conclude your call out of Theo Epstein?
I want to talk about the Schwarber thing for just a little bit. Okay. Did you know that with the Quintana deal, we were supposed to get Schwarber straight up instead of Eloy and Cease?
Oh, you should be so lucky that they took the Eloy and Cease. Can we talk about that for a minute? Can we talk about how dumb of a trade that was?
You know what? It's not a dumb trade until Eloy gets to the bigs. Okay. He needs to do something.
Okay, but come on, dude. Like, he's the number 3 prospect in baseball, and the fact that Dylan Cease was just kind of like Theo, like, here you go, man. We'll just give you Dylan Cease.
And he was minor league pitcher of the year.
And now he's a top, for some websites, let me remind you, Chris Paddock was MILB pitcher of the year. But Epstein was just like, here you go, man. Here's Dylan Cease. Fucking take it from us, and the dude's gonna like top 50 prospect now. That is, if that trade, if Eloy pans out, it's gonna be way worse than the Shields for Tatis trade. That's so bad, dude. That's such a bad trade. But the fact that Kyle Schwarber is your only untouchable, the fuck is that? He's gonna hit like what's he gonna do? He's gonna hit like 240. Not play against left-handed pitching because he can't hit lefties. What is he gonna walk a lot? Awesome. He's gonna get on base and then go and play left field and make like 15 errors in 10 games. And you can't put him behind the dish because he's literally inept. Like I don't know.
I got a hot take.
Do not tell me he's a good catcher.
Oh God, no. God, no. Schwarber would be an all-star every year if he was a DH on an American League team.
Yeah, dude, he hit like 40 bombs. He wouldn't have to do anything but hit dingers. That's when they went to the World Series, but when he was DHing in Cleveland, I mean, he had one of the best World Series I can remember. And it's because that you just gotta put the dude's just meant to hit dingers. It's like Nelson Cruz. He's just there. He was put on this earth to hit 450-foot home runs.
Yep. All right. Theo Epstein. Call out. I know you're listening. Do something about it. All right, Deegs, go ahead. I'm excited to hear this.
We've done this segment. This is our second time doing it.
Second time.
It's personally my favorite thing to talk about. And if you guys remember, if you listened to it, the first time I called someone out was a double call out. It was Boswell for being terrible and Tomlin for being a moron. This time, I'm just going to call one of them out. And Mike Tomlin, what the fuck are you doing? Okay.
Oh God, here we go.
What are you doing, man? Like I'm a very passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Yinzer all the way, love those guys. But what the fuck are you doing on 4th and like 6 in the best stadium to play in for a home team, like New Orleans? Like that place bumps, and they're the best team. right now. The number 1 seed, 13-2. I feel bad for NFC teams that have to go to New Orleans and play them during the playoffs.
I'm scared as a Bears fan.
I'd be terrified. I would be terrified. I was terrified watching that game. You're dominating them the whole game, basically, Pittsburgh, except for the first 6 minutes of the game after that bullshit pass interference call on Joe Hayden. You're just giving it to the best team in the league right now. And your defense is playing great. They played phenomenal football against Tom Brady and the Patriots the week before. And for defense that's relatively shitty, and I talk a lot of shit about them, they were clamping up Drew Brees for the majority of the second half.
Uh-huh.
For you to go for it on 4th and 5 on the Saints 40-yard line, you're basically gifting them a touchdown. Here you go. Here's a touchdown. Right? Thankfully they didn't get it because the block field goal. But it's the stupidity that it is of, here you go, man. Here's the fucking 50-yard field position when you could have easily punted the ball. Barry's a pretty decent punter. You pin him inside the 10. You make him drive all the way down the field if they score a touchdown. If not, you're gonna stop them, get the ball back. The game's over. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely agree. Yeah.
And the fact that Roosevelt Nix, okay, I don't know if you know who that is. I know who that is. All-pro fullback. Guy's been a Pro Bowler the last 4 years at the fullback position. But there's a reason why he's fucking playing fullback. He's 250 pounds. The fact that you're going to turn around and give him the ball in that situation, a slow guy that has to run for 6 yards to get a first down. What the fuck is that? What is the mentality? Wait, in that play call, just punt the ball and pin him. Okay, cool. Tomlin's a dumbass. Usually in big games, he fucks up once. It's fine. I've been dealing with it for 10 years. But the fact that on 3rd and 2 on the Saints 40-yard line, okay, when Jalen Samuels, fantastic game against the Patriots last week, 175 rushing yards, having a great game against the Saints this week. 3rd and 2. Jalen Samuels is 5'8", 220 pounds. He's a tank.
Yeah.
You bring in Stevan Ridley to run the ball when he is known for fumbling. I literally I was watching the game with my buddy, and I turned to him, and I'm like, dude, he's going to fumble right here. He's fumbling this football. And the ball, dude, got knocked out. I could have knocked that ball out. I'm 10, 195 pounds. What do you think's going to happen when a big-ass D lineman just pokes his hand in there and knocks the ball out? That ball went fucking flying like it was lubricated. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't even know, dude. I personally wouldn't have even ran the ball on that play. The Saints have the best run defense in football. We are dominating them in the past. Just throw a fucking screen to Antonio Brown. He runs for if Pittsburgh puts up points on that drive, game over. Game over. And I don't have to sit here and fucking root for Baker Mayfield to beat the Ravens, which is not going to happen. So, Mike Tomlin, I personally want you to get fired. You're not going to because our ownership.
That was going to be my question. Do you think he's
I'm done with this shit, dude. Big Ben is on pay. He's 36 years old and is on pay. He's right now having his best season ever. If he throws for 100 yards this weekend, he'll throw for 5,000 passing yards, something that's never been done by him or a Steelers quarterback before. Most touchdowns, most completions in the league right now. And you got the best wide receiver duo in football, 2 guys who should be all pro in Juju and Antonio Brown. What the fuck? We're not even going to make the playoffs. We lost to Oakland. The Oakland Raiders because he wouldn't put Big Ben back in the game. We lost to the Denver Broncos.
Who lost to the Raiders.
The Denver Broncos. We fucking tied the Browns before Baker was a thing. That was Tyrod.
Oh, God.
God. And we tied them. We tied them. Okay? I'm tired of this shit. He's not going to get fired because there's nobody better available. We're going to bring in Mike.
What if you see Steelers fire Mike Tomlin and hire Mike McCarthy?
I'll kill myself. I'll actually kill myself. The only guy that I would the only 2 guys I'd bring in would be Josh McDaniels, who's the OC for New England. I'd bring in the OC for the Chiefs just because Andy Reid's a god. And I probably would be cool with Lincoln Riley or someone.
What about Harbaugh? You talking Harbaugh?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Give me Harbaugh all day. Give me either of the Harbaughs over that.
I'm pretty sure he's sticking with Michigan, though.
over that fucking moron, Mike Tomlin. But I'm done, dude. We have literally one of the best rosters in football. You can make a case for the best offensive football, and we're not going to make the playoffs. And
Well, you never know.
shut up. We're not making the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm pissed. I'm done. Let's go on to the fucking recaps, dude. I'm done talking football.
Actually, you know what though? While you were talking, I texted PT to see what his call out was. I got one, and this is something that I never thought PT would do. His call out, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that was a terrible game against the 49ers. Dude. What the fuck was that?
First off, go fucking beat the Vikings. Second off, ball security. 100% agree. Yeah, Robinson has 2 fumbles that almost cost us the game, and multiple other people fumbling. It needs to be addressed going into the playoffs. No, okay. And this one I agree 110% with. Being too cute. I get that where the Bears have come from this year so far has come with Nagy's trick plays, but sometimes I think he's got to tuck it in his back pocket and go, maybe this isn't the time to have our 500-pound lineman run the ball. Okay, but it was either last week or 2 weeks ago when he tried that fake punt bullshit that didn't
against
work.
The Packers. It was against the Packers.
I was so mad.
It was the same exact play that the Steelers ran. It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
You cannot run with a fullback, or in that case, I'm pretty sure it was Jordan Howard, up the middle. It's not going to work, dude. It's not fucking Tariq Cohen running up the middle. The guy literally has glue all over his body.
Tariq Cohen's had a couple costly fumbles, too, though.
Yeah, because he's like 5'4". He's going to get killed one of these days. No, dude, I was watching that Bears game because, like, I was at my buddy's house, and we got
the 49ers game?
Yeah. We got the main TV right here, and he's got like this little tiny ass, like 25-inch TV over here, and we had like the Bears game on and the Pittsburgh game on the big TV. And every time I looked over, that game was a shit show. Like,
it was so bad.
If Nick Mullins would have just ran for that first down,
I know. What the fuck was he doing?
I honestly think they probably could have won that game, and that's embarrassing.
Hey, did you see how mad he got at Goodwin, Mullins?
Yeah.
He's like all over the internet. He was like, oh my God.
Terrible decision. But yeah, I mean, the Bears will be fine. They're going to beat the shit out of the Vikings. We'll
see. We'll see. Nagy, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to face the Eagles or we won't. It would be either the Eagles or the Vikings. I don't know if I'd want to face the Eagles.
Vikings.
Exactly.
I would be. This is Big Dick Nick right here.
I know. He's been flopping it, bro.
Dude, I was watching that game too. I'm like, holy shit. Nick Foles.
Like 450 yards?
470 yards, dude. He's just letting it hang right now.
Dude, that's 130-yard pass away from 500. Like, are you kidding me?
That was nuts. All right.
But you know what, though? But you know what about Nick Foles? Huh?
Go ahead. What about Nick Foles?
Okay. He's turnover prone.
Yeah, he is.
With the Bears defense, they could really take advantage of that.
Yeah, but the only thing that I would be scared of the Eagles is 2 things. One, they have a fantastic 3 things. Oh, we're talking some fucking Eagles football now.
All right, let's go.
One, they got to win this weekend against the Redskins and the greatest quarterback of all time, Josh Johnson. Shout out Lee Nation. Then the Bears have to beat the Vikings, who, I mean...
At the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a tough place to play at. They have a lot to play for. Chicago, not really, because I don't think the Rams are going to lose to the 49ers. But Nick Mullins is a stud, so I don't know. I'm totally kidding. He's terrible. Yeah. But the Eagles, they have a very good offensive line. So, I mean, if they're going to... The Bears' best aspect is they got just some big motherfuckers down there that like to get to the quarterback. 2, they have a fantastic front 7. That front 7 is very scary. Fletcher Cox is going to be putting his cock in someone if they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And 3, they got the experience. I mean, they're the reigning Super Bowl champs. Nick Foles, talk shit about all you want. The guy won a Super Bowl. He beat the greatest quarterback of all time. So, I mean, if I was you, I'd rather play Minnesota because Kirk Cousins
110%
looked like shit. It would be in Chicago. That stadium gets hella rowdy, unfortunately. And then you guys can go travel to the West Coast and get dicked by the Rams because it won't be cold and Jared Goff will remember how to play football.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about this for a lot, though. We should probably move on. Go ahead and give us our Week 16 recap. Give us the standings.
All right.
So you emphasize who's in first place, by the way.
Okay. So Deegs, you went 12-4. PT went 13-3, and I went 11-5.
Good week for all of us, man.
All of us, great week. Yeah. So Deegs, you are indeed in first place. 41-23. That's pretty freaking good.
That's pretty good, dude.
PT 36-28, pretty good. And then I'm one game behind PT at 35-29.
It's gonna be close with this last week. I think we should spice it up a little bit and make playoff games count twice.
Hell yeah, let's do that. Yep.
So if you get it right, instead of like getting one game right, you maybe even 4. We'll see how it is.
No. Hey, how about this? The wild card games are 2, then 4, then 8.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Make sure we write this down later.
I'm writing it down right now.
All right, awesome. Yeah, that is fun. I'm excited. Let's get into our Week 16 picks, though. What do you say?
Week 17. 17.
The most relevant week in football, pretty much, if you play fantasy football.
Well, I'm in the championship, kind of. It's like
your league goes into Week 17.
2 weeks, yeah.
Whereas your commissioner should be fired.
I know. Okay.
It's so stupid.
All right. Dolphins at Bills. I've got the Dolphins. Really, there's no reason this is going to be a shit game. Yeah, I've got the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this right now because I do these on the fly. Buffalo is a 4.5-point favorite. I don't know why.
I don't know either. Maybe because they're at home. I don't know.
I watched their game against New England and wanted to stab myself in the eye. So I'm going to pick the Dolphins in a game that literally means nothing. Like, this is going to be probably one of the worst games this week. But yeah, I'm going to go with Ryan Tannehill, who's going to lose his job.
He's done. Yeah.
Let's take the Dolphins this one.
All right, Falcons at Bucks. I think this is going to be a pretty close game, actually. I think this could go either way. But I've got the Falcons coming in and beating the Bucks at home. The Bucks still, the quarterback just all over the place. I saw this hilarious video about Fitzmagic today. Maybe I'll send it to you on Twitter.
Dude, I retweeted it. Yeah. Yeah,
it was very funny. But yeah, I've got the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, they got a 51.5 over/under, so Vegas is expecting this to be a high scoring game. It's the highest over/under of the whole week. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, Jameis is also playing for his job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true.
And I mean, the Bucks, they suck, but they got a pretty good passing game. So I'll take the Bucks in this one.
All right, and I forgot about PT's picks. PT had the Bills in the first game over the Dolphins. And then he has the Bucks over the Falcons. So that's two upsets right there, kinda.
Like that.
Okay, then Cowboys at Giants. Now I'm coming in with an upset here. I've got the Giants winning at home against the Cowboys.
I do too, to be honest with you.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna take the Giants. Dallas, they have nothing to play for. Literally nothing. If they go 9-7, they can't be the 3 seed. They can't move down. They're stuck at 4. So unfortunately for them, if they win a wild card game, which they're not going to because they're the Dallas Cowboys, they're gonna have to go to New Orleans. So that sucks. Yep. But I mean, Eli, just let it hang, dude.
Let it hang, bro. He's really kind of playing for his job too.
I really needed him to beat the Colts because if they would have beat the Colts, Pittsburgh pretty much would have been guaranteed a wild card spot. But yeah, I'm taking Eli and the Giants in this one.
And then PT has the Cowboys.
Of course he does.
Of course
he does. The Giants are favorites to win that game, by the way. 6 points.
I bet they are. All right, Panthers at Saints. If you don't pick the Saints, you're stupid. I've got the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Saints just because they're the Saints, and there's literally like a guy I've never heard of playing quarterback for the Panthers this week.
Yeah.
So even though I would expect to see a lot of backups playing for New Orleans, I'm still going to pick them. What the hell was
My
that?
dog just walked in and scared the shit out of me. Hi, puppy. Maki, take her. Ziva, go by mama. Go by mama.
Oh, man.
All right, well, live on the podcast. All right, next game, Jets at Pats. I've got the Pats. Don't really see the Jets
Pats.
doing anything
Pats.
in New
Come on,
England.
let's go to the next one, Pats.
All right. Jags at Texans. Honestly, every week I've gone against the Jags.
Always
And
won.
they've always won. So this week I'm still gonna go against the Jags and pick the Texans.
Yeah, I'm picking the Texans too, man. Blake Bortles.
But you've been picking the Jags though, and they've been winning.
I don't think, dude, the Jags aren't bad. Like, they're a quarterback away from being legitimate Super Bowl contenders. But Houston's good. They're also still playing for a bye. If somehow New England loses to the Jets, the Texans would slide into the 2 seed. So I'm going to take the Texans this one here.
Yeah, I agree. And PT also has the Texans. All right, Lions at Packers. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself because I know Aaron Rodgers is going to let his cock hang out, but I've got the Lions winning.
Green Bay, dude. He's going to go nuts. So I'm going Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just got to just throw it out there. PT has the Packers. Eagles at Redskins. I've got the Eagles. The Redskins, I know Josh Johnson, but Big Dick Nick, I don't think anybody's stopping him.
The Redskins are terrible. Like, they're just so bad. They're such a disgrace of a franchise. They're holding back the greatest quarterback in football right now in Josh Johnson.
Apparently, yeah, he'll be the best ever with the San Diego Fleet too.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's really a shame how bad the Redskins are hurting Josh Johnson's career.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, Chargers at Broncos. The way the shit show the Broncos have been playing, especially with Lindsey out now, they really don't have a run game now. They lost who's their wide receiver? Sanders. They lost him too. They have no hope against the Chargers.
They're gonna get stomped. Like, this is gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be bad. So Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
Yeah, PT also has the Chargers. No surprise. Raiders at Chiefs. Chiefs.
Oh, dude. This is kind of tough.
No, I know, dude. This is like the first year ever where I feel like in the NFL there's not a team like the Browns where it's a loss every week. Where I think anybody could win any game this year.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna be a tough game. The over/under is actually the highest of the week, 52.5. That's probably why. It's probably because they have Kansas City winning by 14 points. But the last time these two played, Oakland only lost by 6. Now that was in Oakland. Kansas City, not a fun place to play at. If they somehow lose this game and New England wins, the Patriots would become the 1 seed, and then everybody would be doomed for eternal hell in the AFC. Yep. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs because they have to win this game. They have no choice. But I would not be surprised if Oakland made this close, which would screw them over for their draft stock. But John Gruden's a dumbass. So, yeah, we'll Chiefs.
All right. Browns at Ravens. This is a big game for you, Deegs.
Huge game.
This is a huge game.
Hey, so do I get my $20 back if?
Yeah, I didn't spend it yet. I still got it.
All right. I was just pissed, so I sent it to you.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, I know you said earlier in the podcast that Baker Mayfield's not going to do it against the Ravens, but I really think Baker Mayfield's going to do it against the Ravens, and they're going to win.
Yeah, dude, I mean, like you said, huge game for me in Baltimore, which I'll tell you right now from watching Pittsburgh go in there once a year, that's a tough place to play at. Their defense is amazing. I'm gonna give you a hot take real quick. If they make the playoffs, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Who?
The Ravens.
Really?
They make the playoffs. There is not a single team in the National Football League that wants to play the Baltimore Ravens.
No, I know, dude. They're insane.
I'm gonna be honest. They're a better version of the Bears right now.
Think so?
They have a better defense, and nobody can stop that triple option offense with Lamar Jackson just running over everybody.
I know.
But if they make the playoffs, they'd be the 4 seed. In the 5 seed, they play the Chargers again in Baltimore. We know how that went, and then they'd play against New England. And every time that a John Harbaugh defense goes up against New England, it doesn't go too well for Tom Brady. So I'm telling you right now, if there was a team that I was to pick right now to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC, it would be the Baltimore Ravens. All of that being said, I know that I have always been a hater about like supporting my or having hope for Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
I'm picking the Browns, baby.
There
Give me
you
Baker.
go, buddy.
Baker's gonna go in there, and I mean the Browns haven't had a winning season in like 10 years. They win, they'll be 8-7-1.
Uh-huh.
So they're hot right now. I know Baltimore's hot. Let's go. Give me Baker Mayfield and the Browns, baby.
Yeah, dude. There you go. Let's see. Then we got 49ers at Rams.
Rams. Like, come on.
Yeah, Rams. Yeah, Rams. Yeah, PT also has the Rams. Oh, in the Browns game, he has the Ravens. He doesn't want you guys to succeed.
Oh, no, he does. PT's a good guy. He's just making the logical football move, which is the Ravens, which I probably should do too, but I have such a big lead on you guys, I don't really care.
Yeah. All right, and then Bengals at Steelers. PT and me have the Steelers. What about you, buddy?
All right, man.
You go against the Steelers.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have seen this team play down to their competition, a la Denver and Oakland, and what they did the last 2 weeks against the Saints and the Patriots makes me believe that they could literally beat anybody, and like just if they make the playoffs, go to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna pick the Steelers because they're 15-point favorites, and Jeff Driscoll is playing quarterback for the Bengals. But that being said, they have played worse quarterbacks in the division in terms of like when they played the Browns when like Brandon Whedon was a starting quarterback. So this being a divisional game, I would not be surprised if it was close. But I'm gonna go with the Steelers again over a terrible Bengals team that is just they're terrible. Everybody should be fired on that team.
Agreed. I don't know how their head coach.
I don't either, dude.
He's been coaching for what, 15 years?
Yeah, he's a moron. Never won a playoff game before.
Never. What are they doing?
I don't know.
Okay, you know what? We're talking about this for a couple of seconds because this actually got me a little hot right now. Okay, 15 years. I think they've made the playoffs 3 times. Do you know what they've done? Packed it in and went home. 3 losses. Why does he still have a job?
What makes it worse is they're not a bad team, dude. Like that defense is like pretty solid. Andy
Dalton's above average.
He's an above average quarterback, and you have one of the best receivers in football in AJ Green. I know he wasn't healthy this year. And now you got Joe Mixon, and he's kind of a beast. Like they should not have this team started out like 4-1. I thought they were going to win the North.
Hot take, McCarthy's going to the Bengals this offseason.
I wouldn't be surprised, dude. Like, but the fact that Marvin Lewis has a job, they just extended him this offseason. Did you know that? He got extended. The guy got
what?
I think I'm pretty sure they were going to fire him, and instead they gave him like a 1-year extension. Like, here you go. Underachieving football because we're the Bengals and we suck. The last time they made the playoffs, they were winning by 10 points, I'm pretty sure, with like 3 minutes against the Steelers, and they lost. They lost the game on a Boswell field goal. That is so embarrassing, dude.
Especially with a Boswell field goal. He actually made one?
Oh, okay, come on. This guy, I don't even know. How does he have a job? I don't know. He should be fired.
Have you seen him stand on the sidelines?
They hired Hugh Jackson. They hired Hugh Jackson as
He'd be a better freaking head coach.
Okay, let's not go that far.
I 110%.
No chance.
All right, bad. All right. Next game. Cardinals at Seahawks. Me and PT both have the Seahawks. Where you at, buddy?
Seattle. Let's keep it going. Seattle.
All right, and then we got the Bears at Vikings. I honestly think this is going to be the best game of the week.
Okay.
The Bears don't have much to play for if the Rams win. That's true. If the Rams lose, the Bears get the bye if they beat the Vikings. I still only give that like a 25% shot because the Rams losing against the 49ers at home, like...
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No. But then again, as a Bears fan, I know you never want to see your team lose. But if we lose to the Vikings, it won't be the end of the world because we'll face them the next week at home instead of Big Dick Nick, who knows what he'll flop out.
Exactly.
So yeah, I got the Bears. PT's got the Bears.
I got the Bears too, and honestly, here's how I look at it. Right.
Yeah.
If you're Nagy and whoever makes it the decisions on who plays or who not or who doesn't, you're looking at it like this. The Rams, they're not losing. Okay, they're not losing to the 49ers. I know you should never say never, and this league this year has been full of upsets, but they're at home, and the Niners, quite frankly, are not that good. No. So they're not losing to the Niners. Second of all, you're the Bears. So if you know that they're not losing, you control your own destiny, right? You can either choose to rest Trubisky and choose to rest your guys so they don't get injured, so there's no risk of them missing the playoffs or them missing the game next week. And then you probably lose to Minnesota because, I mean, say what you want about the Vikings. They would beat the Bears backups, no problem.
They would, yeah.
And then in that case, you play the Vikings. Or you start your guys, you keep the momentum going, you get back on track after a terrible win against the 49ers, and you play the Eagles. Now, if I'm the Bears, like we mentioned earlier, I want to play Minnesota. I know it's a divisional opponent. I know it's super tough to beat divisional opponents 3 times in 1 year. But I don't want to see the Eagles if I'm the Bears because of Nick Foles. And that sounds ludicrous to say because it's
but
Nick
it's
Foles.
True.
But it's like this dude, his dick is like 13 inches long, people.
Seriously,
like,
he's just ramming it.
And come playoff time, we're talking about a guy who beat Tom Brady. So anything goes at this point. I'm taking the Bears. And they got a date with Big Dick Nick, baby.
All right. All right. Last game of the week, Monday night, Colts at Tennessee. I've got the Colts.
This is a big game. The reason it got flexed to the night game, for those of you that don't know, the winner of this
it's the Sunday night game. My fault, not the Monday night game. Yeah, Sunday night.
The winner of this game makes the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah. The winner of this game is unless the only way one of these two teams doesn't make the playoffs is if the Steelers win and they tie. So if the Colts and Titans tie, which is not going to happen, you cannot there's a 1% chance of that happening. And Pittsburgh wins, and Pittsburgh actually becomes a wild card because they would have a better winning percentage than both of these teams. But that's not going to happen. So if the Ravens are to lose to the Browns and the Steelers win, I'm almost because that would put the Ravens at 9-7. So
then you guys would be in first in the division.
We win the division, and the winner of this game would make. So unless these two teams tie, whoever wins this game makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
That would not have been the case had Eli Manning remembered how to fucking play football and had beaten the Colts last week, in which Pittsburgh would make the playoffs if they won this weekend. But fuck the Giants for being the biggest derp in all of football. And so now it comes down to who wins this game. I'm going to go with the Colts because Mariota hasn't practiced yet, and it's going to be Friday tomorrow. So he's not playing, and I'm sorry, but Blaine Gabbert is not going to beat Andrew Luck and a very hot Colts team that's won 9 out of their last 10 games.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Colts. They're going to make the playoffs, and then they're going to get destroyed by the Texans.
Okay. Well, that does it for football, and I want to chime in a little bit with a little basketball talk for a couple minutes. All right. I know we've been mostly doing football and baseball, but I think we can both agree that sooner or later we'd like to incorporate a couple other things.
Hell yeah. Give me some basketball, baby.
All right. Report just came out. James Harden's being really confident. He just scored 45 points tonight.
He scored 30 plus in 9 straight games. I'd be confident too.
He said it's coming back home.
Yeah.
His MVP.
Oh, 100%. He's winning the MVP. And
you think so?
That's okay. If you look at the MVP race right now, you got LeBron, who has basically taken an average basketball team and turned them into the 3 seed in a loaded Western Conference. He's going to be out for a few games. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I did. The groin thing.
Yeah. Back injury. I was watching the game.
Yeah, I was watching the game too. Yeah, it was a good game.
I was fairly saddened by the fact that he got injured, but he's going to be missing probably 2 weeks, in my opinion. So that's like 6 or 7 games right there, and that's pretty big in a basketball season if you think about it. That's about almost a tenth of the season.
Yeah.
You got Curry. Say what you want. Without Steph Curry, the Warriors are not even close to what they are. He's the greatest shooter of all time.
No. Yeah,
He's
no.
the greatest shooter of all time. He puts up ridiculous numbers. Probably right now, I wouldn't call them the best team in the league, but you come playoff time, no one wants to play the Golden State Warriors.
No.
Giannis, who is a monster.
Unreal.
Anthony Davis, who is a monster.
Uh-huh.
Russell Westbrook's averaging a triple-double.
Again.
Paul George is going nuts.
Uh-huh.
And you got Kawhi up in Toronto. So that's like 7. And Kyrie Irving, if you want to throw his name into that list.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty good, yeah.
But what James Harden is doing right now is unreal. Like PT, what PT would say. I just watched the game. I watched their game against the Celtics, and it's an easy 45, dude. And
I know.
We've never talked basketball before. I don't know if you guys know. I love basketball. I love playing basketball.
Hey, you know what, dude? I've been watching the Bulls a lot more this year. I'm very...
Dude, it's back. Basketball is back. Like, it's fun to watch.
No, it is. Because it's not the Warriors and the Cavs. And it's not just 2 teams now.
Exactly. You got, like, the West is up for grabs. There are 14 teams in the West right now that have winning records. That's absurd.
Uh-huh.
In the East, you know it's not going to be LeBron. So you got the Sixers, you got the Celtics, you got the Raptors, you got the Bucks, you got that's 4 good teams fighting out for who's going to come out of the East. But back to Harden. Watch this dude play. He is unreal.
Yeah.
You can't put your hands in his breadbasket or he's going to blow right by you and score. You can't pressure him at the 3-point line or he's going to drive right by you and score. If you want to put a little pressure on him, cool. He's going to give you a few crossovers, step back, hit a 3 in your face. You're probably going to foul him. He got fouled 3 times today on 3-point attempts. Right now, the Rockets are shooting 45 threes a game. Their last 2 games, they've shot 45 threes.
It was a record. Didn't they break a record?
They broke the record like 3 weeks ago for most threes made. I think they hit like 27 or something like that.
Jesus.
Unreal. He's playing out of his mind. 30-plus points in like 9 or 10 straight games. The guy can drop 30 and 10, like 10 assists at ease. And now with Chris Paul out, he's playing the 3rd most minutes in the league now. They're not in the playoff picture right now. And if I'm Houston, like they're realizing how loaded that Western Conference is. James Harden's going to be playing 35, 36 minutes a game, putting that team on his back. His defense has gotten better. He's my favorite for the MVP right now. I mean, what he's doing is absurd. And you could make a legitimate case other than Anthony Davis and maybe Giannis, there isn't a player more valuable to their team than James Harden is.
Oh, the Rockets wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for Harden. No way.
20 games. And that's just because it's been like 5 games a year just because basketball is basketball. And other than that, it would be a toss-up of how many games they win. So, yeah, man, I love talking basketball. That'd be dope. But I'm cool with it, with him saying that because he's playing out of his mind. He's backing it up completely. And he's my pick to win the MVP right now.
Yeah, and then just to chime in, again, another sport, hockey. I just want to let all our listeners know the Blackhawks, they're creeping back. They just won again tonight. They're only I think they're 6 points out in hockey terms. That's 3 games of making the playoffs. That just shows how bad hockey's been this year. Considering that, I know, but I'm just saying the Hawks have been so bad and they're still in the playoff chase. All right. There's my hockey spiel. And then before we move on to baseball, did you watch the Cheez-It Bowl last night?
Oh, I didn't want to after seeing Twitter. After the TCU quarterback, 4 for 16, 10 passing yards, and 4 touchdowns. The fuck are you doing, dude?
You ready? You ready? You ready for this? You ready for this? 9 interceptions. TCU won the game with 26 passing yards. Are you kidding me?
That's so bad. Okay.
I think I honestly read today, it's statistically the worst bowl game of all time.
Hell yeah. The final score was 14-10.
No, it was 10-7.
10-7. 7. You scored 7 points in a college football game against a shitty defense in
And it was off a pick. It was a pick, and then like got him inside the 20, and it was a quick little like 30-second touchdown.
That's awful. That's so bad, dude.
But you know what? Do you know who broadcasted the game?
Who?
My White Sox, Jason Benetti. I loved it.
I don't care.
But all right, you want to hear this interesting fact?
Sure, man.
All right, Mahoney fact of the day.
Yeah.
All right, there were 2 college football quarterbacks, right, that didn't get a snap before their senior year. Not one snap, and they started last night in the Cal versus TCU game.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you go 4 for 16 with 4 picks and 10 passing yards. Think about that. He completed as many passes to the other team than he did to his team. You know how hard that is to do? If you put me, okay, I'm 5'10". If you put me under center in an NFL game and gave me 16 passes, I promise you I could complete more than 4 of them. You just got to dump the ball off. Like at that point, 10, that guy should be shunned. Kicked off never allowed back at the Cheez-It Bowl, never allowed back at TCU. Don't ever play football again. You are now known for throwing more passes or throwing the same amount of passes to the other team than you did to your team. That's embarrassing. Let's move on because I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Wait, no, I want to say something real quick about TCU football.
Embarrassing. That's what you should say.
Yeah, embarrassing, but they won. Okay, his name was Mulestein. Okay. I want you to remember this name, okay? Siwu Alanula. He's the running back for TCU. He's going to get drafted this year, and I honestly think he's going to be the next running back in the NFL that really becomes something. The way he ran last night was insane.
Okay,
just remember the name. Just remember the name.
You text me that name, and I'll remember it.
Bet. All right. Oh, and by the way, their kicker last night this just shows how bad of a game it was. Do you know who kicked the game-winning field goal for TCU?
Who?
Their holder. Because their kicker missed a field goal, and they were like, "Fuck it." They let their holder kick, and he made it.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. That's so bad, dude.
All right, so that's enough talk for baseball, or not baseball, football, hockey, basketball, all that good stuff.
We do it all here, Bright Lights.
We do it all.
We're so good.
Let's go to baseball. All right, we'll start it off with, I have been waiting to talk to you about this because I think we talked about this earlier. I think we both ended up agreeing. The Ian Kinsler deal, I think it was a good deal for the Padres. Not a great one, but a good one. What do you think, Deegs?
Yeah, I mean, you get a guy, what was it, like 2 years, $4 million, something like that?
It might have been a little bit more money, but it wasn't that much more. But yeah, 2 years.
You get a guy who's a veteran player. You know, he's 36 years old. He's not part of the future. He's going to play second base, probably opening day, or third for us. I honestly have no idea. Right now, our third base situations are our biggest priority. That's why you've seen the Padres in on Miguel Andujar. They've been linked to a couple other free agent third basemen. Marwin Gonzalez to play third base is one of them. They are also apparently, for some stupid, idiotic reason, looking for a shortstop when the number 2 prospect in baseball is going to be ready.
Are they actually?
Yeah, they're looking for a stopgap shortstop. So that's cool.
Why?
I don't know. They're fucking morons.
We'll get to that later.
That would ultimately probably shift Kinsler to third, play the guy at short, and then Urias plays second. If not, Kinsler plays second, Urias plays short, and hopefully they bring someone in, because if I have to watch Greg Garcia be our opening day third baseman, I'll boil my eyes out with acid. Once Tatis comes up, I would assume Urias goes back to second. Tatis plays short. We find someone to play third, for Christ's sake. I'm tired of seeing
What about Moustakas?
I would love Moustakas. I would love Mike Moustakas on the San Diego. 2 years, $20 million. I'd love that.
Dude, I haven't heard one thing about Moustakas.
Me either. I guess the Mets were interested in him before they signed Wilson Ramos.
Uh,
because they had the money. I guess the Brewers wanted him. Now they just told him to fuck off. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, he's not part of the future plans, so it's not really something to get super hyped about. He's a veteran. Hopefully he comes in, mentors the young guys.
uh,
Honestly, best case scenario is he comes into a hitter friendly league in the National League. You know, you talk about a guy that's played in the American League pretty much his entire career, I'm pretty sure, when you look at the Rangers, Tigers, Angels, and Red Sox. So, yeah, he's an American League hitter.
yep.
I lied. I'm a dumbass. The National League is not a hitter friendly league. It's a pitcher friendly league. So disregard what I just said. But
Will do.
yeah, I mean, and hopefully he comes back. He hits like last year. He had like 240. He hits like 255, 260. Maybe you can flip him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fangraphs has him projecting his for some fucking reason. They have his projected salary pay. They project how much a player's worth.
Yeah.
And they have him projected as a $15 million player this year.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
So if that happens, I'm buying an Ian Kinsler jersey and wearing it every single day. But it's not going to.
No.
He's a stopgap player. He's a veteran.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I like it. It's the only concern I'd possibly have is if he takes away reps from Urias or Ty France at third, or Tatis comes up. I don't even know. And the fact that if you remember when he was playing for the U.S. for the World Baseball Classic, he did say some things about how he doesn't like how Hispanic players play baseball. And for a team that is pretty much all Hispanic players,
yep.
I don't give a fuck. Like, if the guy comes in and mentors, cool, awesome. And the best thing about the Ian Kinsler trade is that they released the fuck out of Clayton Richards, and he will never pitch again for the San Diego Padres. Although
I honestly don't think he'll ever pitch again.
I have heard rumors that they are potentially interested in signing him to a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. So, I don't know. Cool. Ian Kinsler's a guy. Hopefully we can trade it for something. If not, whatever. I'm cool with it.
All right, moving on from Kinsler. Nelly Cruz signed a 1 year, $13 million deal with a 2020 team option.
14 million.
14? My bad. With a 2020 team option. Honestly, I think this is a great deal for the Twins. I think actually, for Nelson Cruz, I don't know. He did get a good pay, but I think if you were Nelson Cruz at this age, you'd want to go somewhere and stick. Sign a 3-year deal, end your career. I honestly think that going to Minnesota, which isn't a hitter-friendly ballpark, which we know, doesn't produce a lot of home runs, which he does hit a lot, I would have went to Tampa Bay.
If I was Nelson Cruz, I 100% would have gone to Tampa Bay. And it was reported that the Rays only offered him $12 million because they're the Rays. And
$2 million.
Yeah, I know, because they're the Rays and they literally cannot afford anybody.
No.
I would have taken that deal. He would have hit 40 home runs easily at Tropicana Field. But I like the signing. I think the big caveat to the signing is the club option. They have a $12 million club option for next year, or a $300,000 buyout. So if he doesn't perform, they can buy him out for literally nothing, to an MLB team at least.
Yeah.
If the guy hits 30 bombs this year, let's say at the All-Star break he's got 20, 25 bombs.
Gone.
Maybe you trade him away. I honestly don't think the Twins will compete.
Honestly, they might.
GiraffeNeckMarc did put out a video today. He has the Twins finishing in second place in that division. I do too, unless the White Sox pick up Harper and Machado. And maybe somehow they put together a season like they did 2 years ago. They make the wild card. I don't see him going further than that, if even making the wild card, because one of New York and Boston is going to get a wild card, and then you got a whole bunch of teams in Tampa Bay. Now probably the Angels potentially, and who the fuck knows what else is going on in the American League.
Baseball's baseball.
Exactly, anything can happen. The Oakland A's, you saw how they came out of nowhere last year. But yeah, if he hits 20, 25 bombs, you don't think you're in the right position to potentially make a wild card, ship him out to a contending team.
You know what? The Twins have a lot of pieces that they could trade at the deadline.
They got a lot of power guys too. from the right-handed side. You got
CJ Crone, yep.
Tyler Austin, and now you toss in
Nelly Cruz.
Jonathan Scope, guy was an all-star 2 years ago. Good bounce back candidate.
Yeah.
Always power guy. So, I mean, if they're not contending, ship him away. A lot of teams could potentially be enticed by that buyout where you don't have to keep him for next year. If you don't want him, you could just ship him away for buy him out for $300K. So, yeah, I like the deal. I love Nelly Cruz. You know, he started his career super young, only 28, 29 years old. And if he hits like what? I think it's like 30 home runs this year. He's going to be over.
He had more than that.
Well, I'm saying this upcoming season, if he hits 30, he's going to be over 400.
He'll hit 30. He'll hit at least 30.
Yeah, he'll be over 400. $14 million for a guy that's going to do that. He's not going to play defense. He's going to hit about 260.
Honestly, some good publicity.
Yeah, 265. Who doesn't want to see Nelson Cruz hit tanks? I do. So yeah, good deal for the Twins, in my opinion. Hopefully they turn into something. Probably not though, because they suck.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna skip a couple bullet points here. We're gonna go to the Murray talk with him not working out with any football teams, which even more entices that he will only play MLB baseball. What do you think, Deegs?
Yeah, he's playing baseball. This is a terrible quarterback class. So, Justin Herbert is going back to Oregon. You got, other than him, Dwayne Haskins. He might go back to Ohio State just because of how shitty this class is. He might not. He might stay and look at his.
Well, wouldn't you think though, with how shitty this class is, you would go? You would go to the NFL.
Yes, I would go because he's probably going to be a top 5 pick. Honestly,
yeah, exactly.
Quarterback any teams. I don't think Dwayne Haskins, if he goes back, is going to be anything more than a top 5 pick, especially in that loaded QB class coming out next year. Other than that, you got the guy from NC State, Ryan Finley. You got Daniel Jones from Duke. The
NC State guy, he was. I was watching ESPN today. They were comparing him to Mitch.
Yeah,
so I guess we'll see.
They got. They're probably going to go in the first round, even though they shouldn't. I don't think they're both of them are not first round quarterbacks, in my opinion.
No.
So I think the only way in hell Kyler Murray goes to the NFL is if. I mean, I don't even know.
Funny.
Because if you look at the teams in the top 5 right now, you got the 49ers who have their quarterback, Jimmy G. You got Oakland, who probably going to stick with Derek Carr. You got the Arizona Cardinals, they just drafted Josh Rosen. You got the New York Jets, they have Sam Darnold. So, you look, the only team that needs a quarterback right now is the Giants, and I don't think that they could persuade him to.
And the Raiders.
No, they got Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is not their quarterback.
I don't know, dude. Derek Carr's a good quarterback. I
don't think so.
He just has really bad pieces around him. If he wouldn't have broken his leg 2 years ago, I honestly think that Oakland Raiders team would have gone to the AFC Championship game, and he would have won the MVP. So yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think. When did they get Carr? 3 or 4 years ago.
3-4 years ago. I think they're not going to sign him to an extension, but I think they'll roll with him next year. Just because, who else is there?
Well, then they might, because they have 2 first-round picks next year. They might wait for a quarterback next year.
Yeah, you just be terrible again, and then get Tua or Jake Fromm or somebody else to come out and
get another good first-round pick. Then,
and then he's your quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's a chance in hell Kyler Murray goes to the NFL.
I don't think so either.
This solidifies the fact that he's not working out for teams. Solidifies that he's going to play baseball, which is awesome. So yeah, that's my take on the Kyler Murray thing.
All right, Adam Ottavino talks with a lot of teams. I know my White Sox are in the talk. I think it's the Red Sox are in talks with them. The Astros, kind of just all over the place.
I mean, I honestly can't think of a contending team that wouldn't want this guy.
Anybody would want this guy. I mean,
why would he waste his time going to pitch for like the White Sox?
Honestly, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Padres or any team that like the Marlins. Like, I don't see one of those teams getting him because he's probably just going to pitch meaningless innings. And honestly, if he goes to the White Sox, I think it'd be real smart to flip him at the deadline if he has a good year. Or he goes to a shitty team and go get some prospects. We saw what Brad
do a 1-year deal, yeah.
We saw, or even that, sign him to a 2-year deal. 2 years, what, like 12 mil, 13 mil? Trade him away. You saw what Brad Hand got for the Padres. They got Mejia. That's a great trade for the Padres because the Indians probably aren't going to win a World Series with Brad Hand on their team, and that's why they traded. I see him going to a contender. Honestly, give me a contender that wouldn't want Adam Ottavino. He's got the nastiest slider in baseball, in my opinion. He throws gas. So this guy's going to have a lot of people calling for him. Ultimately, I think he'll go to the Red Sox just because Kimbrel's not going there. Their bullpen sucks dick. And they won a World Series, so maybe they want to keep that train rolling, baby. And you need a good bullpen. You need a good bullpen to win in the playoffs. So right now, I think Matt Barnes or Heath Hembry is their closer. So they're going to be in play for Ottavino. They can offer money. I see him go to the Red Sox.
Agreed. All right, Harper and Machado. This might take a little bit for us to talk about. We'll start with Harper because I think he'll be a quicker convo. Bryce, well, actually, we'll talk about both. Bryce and Manny both said they do not want to play for Philadelphia. But when it's all said and done, money talks. So I honestly have not eliminated the Phillies yet. I don't know. They both said they want to play for New York. They obviously both can't play for New York. It's really going to be interesting when it's all said and done because I do believe that both of these guys will be signed by January 10th.
I can see it. I agree. I would not be surprised. Machado will be gone. Will be signed the first week into January. We know he's waiting for the new year, but I think he will sign very relatively early in January. As far as where he'll go, I'm sorry, but I know you're a big White Sox guy. You'd love to have one of these two. If he doesn't go to the Yankees, I will be shocked.
No, I know. I agree 100%.
Because this looks a lot like the Alex Rodriguez situation a few years ago.
Where the White Sox were actually the same as Machado. We were one of the final 3 teams for A-Rod.
Yeah, and come on. The guy is 26 years old. He's probably one of the top 10 players in baseball, if not top 5 when he's healthy. He's just entering his prime. Didi Gregorius is out for the whole year, and even then,
is he really?
Yeah, Tommy John.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Even then, I don't take Didi Gregorius over Manny Machado at all. I don't think the Yankees are getting a Harper. It would be stupid for them to get Harper. Machado actually fits a need, and you could stick him at third if you wanted to. You could stick him at short. You could do because you got Glaber. You could do
Andujar's out the door if they sign Machado,
and that's why I want the Yankees to sign Machado because I want Andujar to go to the Padres, who reportedly are in love with him, but they're in love with everybody and they don't get shit ever. But that's a different topic. As far as Bryce Harper goes, I don't even know, dude. He could go. There's 2 options for him, right? He goes to a team that pays him a shit ton of money in either Philadelphia or the White Sox, or he goes to a contending team that isn't going to give him that 10-year contract, but they'll give him a 5-year deal where he's going to make like $40 million a year, probably 5 years, $200 million, make him the highest average paid or average annual salary or whatever paid per season, which is what he wants. A contending team in LA, they clear the cap space for him, or the Cubs, one of the two. If somehow the Cubs figure out how to move some cap space,
I don't rule out the Cubs just yet.
Me either. But honestly, I got Harper like I predicted, and a bunch of my friends that listened to this called me a dumbass for predicting it. They're like,
I don't know. I agree.
They're like, as soon as you said that he was going to the Dodgers, we turned it off. Yeah. Well, guess what? He's going to go to the Dodgers. And when he signs with the Dodgers, I'm going to blow up all your phones and then feel terrible about myself because then the Padres got to go up against Bryce Harper for the next 5 years when that's our window of contention. But, yeah, I could see him definitely taking the money just because he's Bryce Harper, but I could also see him taking less money, still getting more, technically getting more money every year because he'd be getting $40 million a year and winning some championships with the Dodgers or the Cubs.
Yep. So the only thing that I could see with my White Sox getting either of these guys is I know for both of these guys, they want double-digit year deals. And nobody is willing to give it to them besides the White Sox. That I'm pretty much, it's in my head right now that we're not getting either of these guys. I'm pretty confident we're not. I did hear though that the White Sox made an offer to Dallas Keuchel that is about 100% that he's going to come to the South Side, which I'm not too disappointed in. We're signing someone, but I think I need a complimentary person with Keuchel, like Machado or Harper. But yeah, that's just some White Sox talk, but whatever. Now to your team.
Oh
What?
no, let's do the ballot first. Talk
You
about
want
the
to do the
ballot.
ballot first? All right.
Talk about the ballot.
All right. So I want to talk about this because today on MLB Network, John Morosi released his ballot live on television, which I loved. And I'm not saying that every writer has to do this, but one person released their ballot without saying their name, and they only picked 3 people.
Yeah, it was like Roy Halladay, Kurt Schilling, and somebody else.
And Rivera.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about, dude? Stop being a pussy and release your ballot so we can flame you for being a moron.
Yes. Like, you have 10 votes, use them.
Every single ballot should be public. Every single
110%. Yeah.
Roast did amazing. Amazing. I loved it. I was watching it. Fantastic.
Yeah.
There's no reason why. Okay, if you're a writer, okay, and you are granted the honor of being able to choose who is going to be inducted into the hardest Hall of Fame out of all professional sports to be inducted, grow some balls, stop being soft, and publicize your pick. You're a writer,
Seriously.
right?
Yeah, exactly. You should be used to criticism.
What you do for a living is you write content with your name on it, unless you're a gigantic pussy and don't choose to put your name on your articles. I'm a writer. I put my shit everywhere. I have no problem with what people have to say about the stuff that I write, okay? You have this honor where you are choosing who's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. You do this for a living. Like, every single day you go to work and you write something up and your name is on it and people love it and people shit on you. Like, that's how that industry works. It's a very fierce industry to be in. Stop being a fucking pussy and tell us, give us your name so we can praise you for, hey, you had a great ballot.
Or like GiraffeNeckMarc.
Yeah, give him a little stand up.
Give him a little standing O.
Or, what the fuck are you doing? The guy that picked only Roy Halladay, Kurt Schilling, and Mariano Rivera. Only 3
I hate you. What
fuck was that, dude? That ruined my day. I saw it.
You have 10 votes. Use them. There are
there's players on this ballot that are deserving of a vote. In my opinion.
Morosi even said there were 4 more guys that he could have voted for that he believes will get into the Hall of Fame someday.
This is a good ballot, in my opinion. This is a good ballot, especially because you have the contrast between the guys who use steroids and the guys who didn't use steroids. So it brings a good debate to should we allow steroid users into the Hall of Fame. So this is a really good ballot. And the fact that you're too fucking inept to use all 7 of your votes. You're not going to use your votes? Give them to me, man.
Or, come on. Do a Twitter poll.
Can you tag team someone else and transfer them your votes or something? Like, what the fuck? Use all of them. That guy is lucky. This guy is lucky that he put Rivera in because somebody would have found him and oh my god, dude. That would have been the end of the world.
All right, so I want to add one more thing about the Hall of Fame, then we'll get to a couple other things. Okay. There's been 28% of the ballots have been turned in, right?
Correct.
Okay. Rivera's still at 100%, right?
It's not going to be 100%.
No, he's not going to. Okay, but I want to talk about this. Fred McGriff in his final year is hovering around 30%. If he doesn't get in, we're going to have a great discussion. Okay. Now I want to add this. Gary Sheffield is trending to get under 10%, which puts him in jeopardy because if he gets under 5, he won't be on the ballot anymore. Deegs, I will lose my shit if he's not on the ballot. Will. Oh my! That'll be my call out. All the writers.
2 former Padres, mind you, Fred McGriff and Gary Sheffield, both in my opinion, Hall of Famers. I mean, I guess what's the one knock you could put on Sheffield? He played for a lot of teams. Who gives a shit? Like the guy was, he was a great baseball.
Hit over 500 home runs.
How
I wish I had my stats sheet because I'd be flinging stats everywhere.
How is he not a Hall of Famer? Like, dude, I get it. Okay, you need 70% of the vote to get in, which is a lot.
75.
75%, which is a lot. I understand, but should he be getting 75% of the vote in this ballot? I don't think so.
Maybe not. No.
Should he be getting 10% of the vote?
No.
He should. He should be getting more than that. He should be right there with Fred McGriff. If
Exactly.
Fred McGriff makes the Hall of Fame and Gary Sheffield doesn't, I love Fred McGriff. Fantastic baseball player with the Padres. I will lose my shit.
I
will go bonkers because Gary Sheffield's a fucking Hall of Famer, man.
All right, so let's go to your Padres now. I'm very excited to see what you have to say about this. The segment is called Today in What the Fuck Are the Padres Doing? And host, you take over this, buddy.
All right. I'm going to give you guys some insight because I'm going to assume, it's 2018, almost 2019. Really shouldn't be making assumptions. But I'm going to assume that most people who listen to this podcast, if you even listen to our wonderful podcast, are either White Sox fans, Cubs fans. There's probably some Brewers fans sprinkled in, probably some idiotic Yankees fans roaming around. And not a lot of not a lot of you probably understand what it's like being a San Diego Padres fan. So
the White Sox understand, buddy.
No, because you guys won a World Series in this last decade.
Okay, all right, all right.
Let me lay it on the line for you, okay? We've been to 2 World Series since 1969, which is when our team was created, okay? We wasted the career of one of the greatest pure hitters of all time in Tony Gwynn. I saw some guy on Twitter tried to tell me earlier today that Tony Gwynn shouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, you know what? I saw that guy.
Yeah.
Was that on Twitter?
I
saw that. Yep.
Tony Gwynn shouldn't be. That's a different story. That guy's a fucking moron. He's a Yankees fan too, if you guys were wondering. Shocker.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But we wasted his career, okay? We wasted Trevor Hoffman's career. We wasted Dave Winfield's career. Like, this team is a literal shithole. And they play in one of the nicest cities of all time, in the whole country. If you've ever been to San Diego, I have. My dad actually lives out there. It's beautiful. If I was a free agent, I would want to play there, despite the fact that the baseball team's a sack of shit. We wasted Jake Peavy's career. We have wasted so many fucking people's career. It's like the Cleveland Browns of baseball. We can't catch a fucking break. Okay? I've been watching the Padres since 2006. Since 2006, what is that? 12, almost 13. It's 13 baseball seasons because of the 2019 season. We're in the offseason.
Yeah.
They've had 3 winning records. Okay?
That's it?
07 and 2010. They haven't had a winning record since 2010. They haven't made the playoffs since 2007. They lost to explain how much of a shithole this team is. They were in first place in August in 2010 when the Giants World Series by 15 games. 15 games in first place, and they lost the division title on the last day to the Giants. Who knows what I don't think they would have won the World Series, but at least they would have fucking made the playoffs. Okay, it's been like 12 years.
It's been 10 years for the Sox. It was 08 for the White Sox.
The Padres last made the playoffs. I was 6. I'm going to be a sophomore in college in like less than a year. Think about that. Okay, we are the walking mediocrity of baseball. 2015. I'm going on a rant right now, and I hope at least part of this YouTube title is called Deegs Rant. Okay.
I'll make sure of that.
2015 rolls around, and we get this wonderful new GM called AJ fucking Preller. Okay, and he comes in, and for once our fucking team won something. We won the offseason. Like, yeah, hell yeah. Stand up and clap for the San Diego Padres, baby. We won the offseason. We got Kimbrel. We got an aging Matt Kemp. We got Will fucking Middlebrooks. And this was winning the offseason for the Padres because our team is awful. We got Justin Upton, who we literally let walk for nothing.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
We got a compensation pick out of him.
He took a photo in a Padres uniform and turned around and left.
Yeah, sick. We got his brother, who actually got us a pretty decent prospect. So shout out to him.
BJ.
We got James Shields, who ended up turning into The number 2 prospect.
Yep.
That was us winning the. Oh, and we got Derek Norris, who was an All-Star the year before with the A's. 2015, I saw that, and I'm like, we're fucking winning the division. Like, we're beating the Dodgers or whoever the hell won that division that year. We're going to the playoffs. Yeah, it was the Dodgers. We're going to the playoffs. It's over. It's fucking over. They won 75 games.
I know.
75 games. Not even above 500. Not even 7 games out of being above 500. Sick. So what does Preller do? He realizes that he was a fucking idiot, and he trades everybody. Literally everybody. Craig Kimbrell, gone. Gave us 2 great prospects in Manny Margot and Logan Allen. BJ Upton, gone. Gave us Pedro Avila, who won the single-A pitcher of the year last year. Great. Awesome. So happy. No, I'm sorry. It was Osvaldo Hernandez. Fantastic pitcher, in my opinion. But he'll probably never be anything relevant in Major League Baseball because that's how just prospects pan out. Matt Kemp, we traded Matt Kemp for a guy who got DFA'd a week later, and we're still paying his contract. Derek Norris, we got Pedro Avila for him. Cool. Sick. Will Middlebrooks, fucking terrible. And Justin Upton just fucking came in, got his money, and dipped to go play with the Angels. And he's pretty to play with the Tigers, sorry.
Tigers. Then he went to the Angels, yep.
He's pretty good. He's a good baseball player.
No, he is, yeah.
So, after being the literal shit show of Major League Baseball, Preller decided, and we shipped off James Shields. He built the best farm system in baseball. Top to bottom, every single affiliate, extremely deep, 10 guys in the top 100 on pipeline. When their update comes out in January, we're supposed to have 13, is what people are saying. That's absurd, okay? Now, there's a lot of great things that come with having a top farm system, as the White Sox also have a top farm system. The Cubs had a top farm system at one point. And there's a lot of shitty things that happen, okay? The good thing is, if you look at the teams that have had the best farm system in baseball in the last few years, the 2 most notable ones are the Chicago Cubs and the Houston Astros, who at one point in the last 10 years were awful. The Astros were so bad, they literally got kicked out of the National League.
No, I know, yeah.
So, and they won a World Series title, and the Cubs did too, back-to-back years. Cubs 2016, Astros 2017.
White Sox Padres, buddy.
Yeah. So that's the upside, is you got a shit ton of young guys, homegrown talent, who hopefully you hope develop into good players that will one day bring you your first World Series title ever because your team's a sack of shit. And you can trade away some depth pieces to bring in guys like the Astros did with they got Garrett Cole, they got Verlander, the Cubs, they spent some money because the Padres are too enough to fucking do that, and they got John Lester and all those fun pieces. They got Chapman and all these awesome things. The downside is you're a fucking idiot about it, and you don't trade anybody, you don't make any moves, your prospects flail out, and you just go back to being the walking mediocrity that is known as to be the San Diego Padres. Now, why I wrote "What the fuck are the Padres doing?" is, if you've been keeping up with baseball as of late,
then I have, Diego.
Every big free agent or every big trade rumor that has come about
surrounding the Pods,
the Padres have been in it, right? Why? Because we have the best farm system in baseball. Everybody wants to tap in and get some of this Padres loving. Noah Syndergaard very easily could have got him. Very easily. We just had to stop pussies and get him. Cool. We missed out on a guy who has top 10 stuff. JT Realmuto. I love JT Realmuto. He's a great catcher. Why the fuck are you still talking to the Marlins about him? You have Austin Hedges. You have Francisco Mejia. If they trade for JT Realmuto and keep him, I will walk into traffic on I-90 at like 5:30 p.m. on a Friday, on like a Thursday afternoon when everyone's coming back from work, okay? And hope somebody hits me going 80 miles an hour. Corey
Kluber. Won't happen with all the traffic, but okay.
Corey Kluber and Trevor Bauer. Corey Kluber finished in the top 3 in the Cy Young all the last 3 years, won it twice. Trevor Bauer, probably one of the best young pitchers in baseball. Guess who's in on him? The Padres.
Wait. Do you want me to say this now, or do you want me to wait till your rant's done?
Wait till I'm done.
Okay.
Guess who's not going to fucking get him? The Padres. Guess who is interested in Corey Kluber? The Dodgers, the team that bends us over every year. Guess who has the balls to make moves and get people? The Dodgers. They're going to get Kluber, and then we're going to be fucked. Okay? Who else are we talking here? Give me
All
some.
right, all right, wait. Okay, I just want to let you know, the Indians just released like a half an hour ago while we were recording. They are not trading Kluber or Bauer anymore.
Awesome. Oh, the fifth one, Marcus Stroman.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
Marcus Stroman. Bad year last year. Injury plagued year. Might I add.
I love Stroman though, but yeah,
Stroman's a great pitcher, and I think if you bring Stroman in, even if he's a 3.50 ERA guy, just what that guy brings to a team. He's all maybe at his best 5'8". He struts around that mound like a goddamn champ. He wants to win at all costs. He's a great personality to have around. I don't care if reports came out that he's a shit that he doesn't want to be in Toronto. I wouldn't either. It's cold as shit, and the team sucks. They didn't bring up Vlad Guerrero Jr. when the guy was hitting 400 in AAA. Like, what does that fucking tell you? Marcus Stroman had a terrible year last year, and for that reason, it would be super cheap to acquire him now.
Oh yeah.
No. Fuck no. We're not going to fucking get him. This team has the best farm system in baseball. And honestly, they're not going to do shit with it.
No.
They have a 10-year window, in my opinion, from 2018 to 2028 to win a World Series, or they're never doing it. And that sucks because I know a lot of players that would love to play in San Diego. And I know a lot of, Bryce Harper himself is in San Diego like every fucking
week.
Yeah,
he loves San Diego. Yeah.
And another guy I forgot. How could I forget this? Manny Machado, okay? Like I talked about this earlier when we were talking about Kinsler. They have a glaring hole at third base. We don't really have a top third base prospect. Our top third base prospect, our best bet is Tatis moving over and playing third in like 4 or 5 years.
Which won't happen.
Because he's an amazing shortstop. Gold Glove caliber shortstop. Manny Machado fixes that need at third base. Okay?
Well, he doesn't want to play third.
I don't give a fuck. If you get Machado, then Tatis can swallow his fucking pride and go play third base, and we can put Machado at short. It doesn't matter.
Not.
You know why it doesn't matter? Because they're not going to fucking get him. Because they're too inept to even check in on him. Machado doesn't cost prospects. He does not cost prospects. All he costs is money. And the Padres have fucking money. They have so much money, okay? And they're not going to even check in on the guy. Why? Because he's a douchebag. Because he doesn't. I don't give a fuck, okay? The guy's a 300 hitter. He's going to hit 35 bombs.
He's a douchebag that everybody wants.
And he's going to win like 6 World Series rings with the Yankees. And we're just going to be sitting there and like winning like 85 games every year and being content because we're the fucking Padres and we can't win shit. Yep. So shout out to AJ Preller. Shout out to Ron Fowler. Shout out to Peter Seidler. Shout out to all the fucking useless morons that run the San Diego Padres for ruining baseball for me. For some reason, I still watch your shitty team every year. I still pay $100 to get all the out-of-market games just to watch you guys fucking suck and ruin what could potentially be a very good team. Thank you for listening to my rant, Mahoney, and all of you guys who get this far in this video or in this podcast. You're a god.
Welcome.
Listening to me yell about this team that I just want to scream every single day about how fucking awful they are. But yeah, that's all I have on what the fuck are the Padres doing. This should be an actual thing because during the regular season, I could think of like 15 different things every game. Like, what the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing?
All right. Well, that was the first segment of that. So wrapping things up here, I got 2 more things I want to talk about that are going to be really quick. All right. My baby boy, Jock Pederson. First off, it looks like he's staying in Los Angeles because they got rid of Kemp. They had to get rid of somebody, and they got rid of Kemp and Puig. Yeah, so it looks like Jock's staying. Honestly, I think that's a good decision on the Dodgers because we'll see. I love my boy Jock, but we'll see how he pans out. But most importantly, his bird scooter. I read more in on it today. Turns out his car got stolen with the bird. Or his car got broken into and the bird was yanked out of there. Who would take a bird? I don't know. Like, whatever. Jack, if you're listening, I'd love for you to slide into our DMs. Let us know how you're doing, the bird, the new baby, if the car's okay.
We're going to continue to @ you on Twitter until you do, Jock. So
Yeah.
you might as well get it over with.
It's just love, though. It's just love, Jock.
I just want to say, what kind of ruthless piece of shit. Okay, stealing a car is pretty bad, right? But I can get over like, all right, you stole a car, cool, awesome. What kind of piece of shit takes a car, gets in the stolen vehicle, okay, and sees a parrot and just decides, you know what, fuck it, and then just keeps going. That parrot,
Jock.
I said this for weeks. That parrot is sitting there right now, going, Jock, 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 in some other guy's house because he stole his parrot, of all things. If it was like a gold bar, like, hell yeah, take that shit. But a parrot, knowing that they like just speak Jock, 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 that guy's a dick.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to come on the podcast so we can call him a dick.
He'll be my call out then.
Yeah, what a douchebag.
All right, to close it out, I want to say one thing. We've been talking to this YouTuber on and off. I know me and you both love watching his videos. I'm talking about GiraffeNeckMarc. He had 34,000 subscribers today. Us, as a podcast, we just wanted to congratulate him.
You know what that warrants? You know what that warrants? Clap it up.
Yep. Clap it up. Clap it up for Giraffe. Clap it up.
34K. He's going for 35K before the new year. I hope he gets it. I
hope so too. I love it. I love his videos.
I hope he comes on this podcast one day. But if he gets 35K, I'm going to be so hyped. I'm thinking about buying a GiraffeNeckMarc shirt, dude. How dope
I think I will too.
Dope
if he gets on the podcast, we'll wear his shirt during it.
Hell yeah. But that's all we had today. This is a super long show, about an hour 30. If you got to this far, you're a G and a half.
Thank you for the support.
If you made it this far, let us know. And if we ever come out with some like dope ass Bright Lights podcast shirts, I'm getting you one for free.
For free. We'll give you a discount.
I'm personally making sure you get it for free if you're this far in this podcast. This was super fun. It's probably our best one yet. We're trying to go for a more conversing, less stressful, not rehearsed atmosphere where we just kind of talk about things.
Yep.
Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you want to see some basketball, some hockey, some college hoops, anything. We love sports. We'll talk about it. Follow us on Twitter at Bright Lights Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're fucking everywhere. If you can try and hide from us, but we'll find you, man.
It's not happening. Yeah,
it's happening. We are literally everywhere. We're not on SoundCloud because only fucking idiots use SoundCloud, but we are everywhere else. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next time that we do this podcast. I'll be in Peru, so we got an international podcast. We'll see how that goes.
Let's go. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
But thanks for watching. Shout out to the Bright Lights faithful. That's all I got for today.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.